insights, we've got you covered right here on NIAGA Spotlight. Well, today on Analysis, we're taking a look at revolutionizing parenthood via technology. Now, a couple of interesting facts when it comes to the numbers of this. The parenting technology market in Southeast Asia is witnessing significant expansion. This is, of course, thanks to actually birth rates that are steady and remaining high, as well as increasing digital adoption. Now, this is creating unprecedented demand for parenting and maternity wellness solutions. Figure-wise, according to Euromonitor International, in 2023, the market size in the region for parenting technology reached approximately 30 billion ringgit or 7 billion USD, with a compound annual growth rate or CAGR of anywhere between 8 to 10%. Clearly, tech-driven market innovation parenting is the big thing and the big sector to be involved in. Today, we have the absolute pleasure on NIAGA Spotlight of having Nuren Group with us, the largest women's community and e-commerce platform in Southeast Asia, as well as Malaysia's leading parenting platform. Petrina Goh, who is founder and CEO with Nuren Group, joins me now in the studios. Petrina, good morning. Thank you so much for making time. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you so much for NIAGA Spotlight to have me here today.
Fantastic. So, Petrina, could I perhaps get us started off on this very interesting and timely discussion with some of the key challenges that you faced when you founded Nuren Group, and how did you actually, in a sense, begin by solving problems that you were facing as a mother-to-be, and then eventually that led down to the road today, a leading parenting technology company?
We started with the motherhood idea back in 2014. It was when a time where there's no Shopee, no Lazada in Malaysia.
That's right, exactly.
Yes.
So 10 years, even though it's not that long ago, we lived in a completely different digital reality, right?
That's correct, yes. And in the past, parenting is a very traditional brick and mortar business.
That's right.
Parents goes to the baby shops, to the baby fair, to get their source of parenting needs as well as baby products. We started the concept of motherhood to provide mothers the convenience of shopping for their baby products at the ease of their home. So it started off as a marketplace. We brought in like brands and sellers, to sell on our platform. Yeah. The early days challenges were gaining trust from our consumers as well as gaining trust from our sellers to have the trust with us to list their products and services on our platform.
Exactly. So from those early days, Petrina, you've actually managed to scale to not just Malaysia, but Singapore as well as Thailand, and actually being at the forefront of transforming parenting. Now, at the same, also interestingly enough, you did naturally face certain challenges, which all digital-first platforms faced during the pandemic. Tell us about some of the learning experiences there and what led to any pivoting or how you moved from there about 3 to 4 years back.
Yeah. So just like every digital platform, there are a lot of noise, a lot of content available. And why do parents choose us as the source of information, when planning or deciding for their parenting needs? One of the advantage or benefits that we provide to parents, we work mainly with experts as well as hospitals to provide them trusted and reliable source of information before they make a decision on what they need to buy for their parenting needs.
Exactly. So it's kind of like having everything at your fingertips, but it is also expert advice. So tell me about Nuren Group's mission and how that happens to also quite organically then align with the business strategy, which form the core values of the company.
Okay. Our core vision is to create a reliable and supportive community of female and mothers, providing them with the resources and needs and also reliable information to help them navigate the very stressful parenting journey today. We are also very supportive. We understand that modern mothers has different needs, and they would rely on tools and AIs, to help their parenting journey to be less stressful. Relying on the certain tools that we provide them to help them navigate through this journey.
Understood. Now, let's talk about the fact that compared to when Nuren Group first started out, the parenting technology space, though, has transformed radically since 2014 to 2024. So what do you feel are some of the competitive edges that Nuren Group has in comparison to the others out there? And how do you actually hope to continue maintaining this competitive edge?
There's a lot of misconception about the parenting digital platform in the market.
Right.
A lot of consumers or even investors thought that the parenting tech or parenting digital is just about content. However, at Motherhood or at Nuren, we are actually integrating not only just content, but commerce, AI, as well as technology into our platforms. Parents or mothers, they can actually navigate through not only just reading contents, they can also shop for their parenting needs, as well as consult a AI chatbot when they have challenges or they need certain challenges or issues solved, whether it's the health of the baby or the health of the family.
So it does seem that the consumer interface of that side of the business is actually highly important. But as you said, it is also a network and a community that helps to foster people, including especially mothers, to be able to put forth their talents. Tell us a little bit about innovative business models and how users can also eventually perhaps scale up, if that's their interest, to become the ones running smaller businesses on the platform.
Yeah, so on Motherhood, besides offering our brands, big brands or international brands, the opportunity to sell or to list their products and to sell to our community, we do work with a lot of the homemakers as well as small businesses, and we help them to provide like free exposures to our community of mothers. Mothers today, modern mothers today, they are always looking for something that is close to their heart. They want the brand to understand them. So we are very happy to always onboard like smaller businesses, especially businesses or products that are created by mothers themselves, because they know mothers well.
Absolutely. What I'm thinking about is actually on the back end. What kind of, for example, verification and authentication processes does Nuren practice to ensure that, yes, certainly you want to encourage the entrepreneurial spirit amongst mothers and especially homemakers who may see the digital avenue as perhaps one strong option to make an income, but at the same time you want to ensure the safety and health of everybody who's using the platform and comes across all these new products and businesses.
Yeah, so aside from the standard SOPs whereby we need to verify that they have a registered business, registered companies, as well as certain credibility, certain certifications provided, for their products. We do also launch, we call it the Motherhood Choice Award, whereby we have our consumer, our readers, to vote for the favorite products. So what they do is we go through a system of voting and nomination. Brands or community can nominate and vote for the brands that they want. And ultimately, the top 100 that are listed as the top 100 Motherhood Choice brands will be successfully listed on the platform and gain certain advantage exposure on our app and also our web.
Right, so it's actually, in a sense, it's fostering that sense of healthy competition throughout the year, right?
That's right, yes.
Nice.
Of course, aside from that, we also establish a committee of panels that consists of not only just the industry experts, but also healthcare practitioners to give their views on the credential as well as how trusted a certain product is.
Absolutely. And given the fact that modern day parents, particularly mothers, they are likely able to get so many things done and settled all the way from the beginning or even before the birth cycle. So this also involves resources for pregnancy, right? Tell us a little bit about that sector of the user market for Nuren Group.
So in terms of pregnancy, I would say pregnancy mothers consist, our community of mothers I would say 30% of them consist of pregnant mothers, especially the new mothers. You know, because new mothers, they are at the most sensitive stage of life, and they are new and they need lots of resources and support during this
So
period.
first-time mothers.
First-time mothers.
Understood.
Yeah. So at Nuren Group, we created a program. We call it a Parent Craft workshop. We collaborate with about 60 over hospitals in Malaysia,
Right.
and we run it on a monthly basis and weekly basis. Monthly offline, weekly online. We have doctors from all over hospitals, established hospitals, to actually come together in a workshop, where it's an online format or offline format, to educate parents, not only just the mothers but the fathers as well, of the concept of giving birth, taking care of the baby, and how to go through and navigate through the journey of parenting.
Fantastic. I love the fact that you already mentioned the fact that fathers are integrated into these workshops. Petrina, let's spend a little bit of time discussing how the space of parenting has also evolved quite quickly, even in Malaysia, that now services being offered for parenting are inclusive of fathers and also highlighting their role in the whole journey.
That's right. So we do see a rise in fathers reaching out to us and asking us for support as well in terms of fatherhood journey, and that's also one of the reasons why we always make it mandatory for fathers to attend any of our parenting workshops. We think that parenting is not just the mother alone. The father would have to play a big role in supporting, whether it's physically or mentally to the family. And with the rise of dual income family, father is also playing a pretty much role, in sharing the burden of taking care of the little ones.
Yes, exactly. And dual income also means that increasingly, as cost of living concerns come to the fore, it's important for both mother and father to take a part in budgeting, right?
That's right.
So moving from there into the fact that Nuren Group, Petrina, you've got over 5 million active users across your multiple platforms and verticals. What type of strategies has Nuren Group employed in ensuring that you are able to scale user base as well as engagement?
We use technology to scale our business. Technology in terms of we are able to provide the most trusted and digital content and available not only just offline but digitally. We also leverage, we have an unfair advantage because we do work a lot with hospitals and expert and practitioners to give word of mouth and to help us to expand our network of mothers.
Yes, exactly. So speaking about word of mouth though, that of course hopefully translates into revenue streams. Let's discuss a little bit about the primary revenue streams that Nuren has been able to cultivate and perhaps opportunities that you see for further expansion.
When we started the idea of motherhood back in 2014, our main revenue stream was through commissions and transactions fees from whatever revenues or e-commerce that we have generated for our sellers. Fast forward today, we have actually expanded and pivoted to several revenue streams. Of course, marketplace commissions is one of the primary. We do have a lot of advertising revenues as well as sponsorships revenues coming from brands as well as FMCGs who are looking to target the female industry.
Fantastic. Now, of course, you just mentioned a tick ago that fathers are increasingly being involved within this sector. But would you say from the 5 million plus active users, you have a rough gender disaggregation of the split between men and women?
Yes, 75% of our audience are still women.
Right.
Yes, and 25% are male.
And has that 25% been at a steady level, or has it increased and gone up over time?
In fact, it's actually decreasing. It used to be around
Interesting.
90% female and 10% for the father.
Right.
Yeah, and today, I think that was like 4 years ago. MCO actually made a big change.
Nice.
Right
Okay.
after MCO, we realized that that's actually taking up more responsibility in taking care of the family and learning more about parenting.
So that's actually a really positive movement, because numbers-wise, we understand that 30% is what it takes to make any kind of transformative change, not just in an industry, but in a specific sector. So 25% is really, really good. All right, so on that note though, Petrina, we take a quick break. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back with the rest of the interview on NIAGA Spotlight.
Satu dekad penuh gemilang, sepak takraw kini kembali penuh dengan aksi mendebarkan. Dapatkan tiket anda sekarang. Pelanggan Astro juga boleh memenangi tiket di aplikasi My Astro. Jangan lepas peluang keemasan ini.
Hello and welcome back to NIAGA Spotlight. You're still with me, Tamina Kausji. And today, of course, we're focusing on revolutionizing parenting via technology. We have in-house with us for NIAGA Spotlight, Petrina Goh, who is founder and CEO with Nuren Group. So, Petrina, continuing the conversation. Now, what would you say in 2024 are some of the most interesting trends in the parenting technology sector?
Yeah, we would say rising technology as well as AI-driven technology, personalized content, and providing more customized wellness solution will be the trend going forward. How Nuren Group is leveraging on this trend is we are also adopting AI and big data into our technology to support and to provide our customers a more customized, personalized pregnancy journey. Yeah. And also understanding their needs, through the questions they ask through our app. That's where we get the big data, and therefore, allowing us to actually customize the entire journey to be a bit more personalized for our users.
Yes, so on the back end of it, there's a lot of machine learning involved to be able to track the kind of trends and the kind of usual questions that people are asking, right?
Right.
Have you also found a need for, when it comes to the parenting platforms that you're running, are parents also increasingly turning to technology to assist with early childhood learning?
Yes, I would say there's a rise in kids, having like autisms as well as ADHD. We do see there's a lot of resources, available online on the digital. On motherhood, on Nuren Group, we are also enabling the assessments for mothers to do a very simple, quick assessment of their kid, as well as tracking tools to allow them to actually track the kid's development, whether it's physically or cognitive, or even like the growth.
So basically, AI-powered developmental apps that help to sort of pace themselves to each child's unique learning pace,
That's
right?
right.
What's the kind of feedback been from parents? Is it increasingly something that parents are familiar and they're already looking for it, or are you still seeing word-of-mouth trends where early adopters within the community then help to pass on the word?
It's still very much word of mouth at the moment. Of course, with a lot more influencers sharing about, like autism is kind of like taboo in the past. Parents are not willing to acknowledge, that their kids are having like
Learning difficulties.
Yes,
Fair enough.
But we do see that the trend with more and more influencers and mothers openly sharing about their experience and how they cope with the needs of their child's learning disabilities on the social media. There are more and more resources and support given, and more parents are also coming out, and share about their experience.
So that is actually very encouraging, because what that means is that the earlier children get diagnosed, should they be having learning difficulties or even mental health issues, the faster in which they can actually receive the help, right? What is the process like when it comes to the expert, like doctors, etc., who you say do show up for Nuren organized workshops? Is there something which is available, like an on-call system or Ask an AI, but it's actually connected to healthcare professionals?
We are still going towards that, towards developing a chatbot that allows parents to do a simple analysis and directly connected to a doctor to get diagnosed of such situations. We would expect that to launch sometime early next year, because there's actually a lack of such expertise and doctors in the market.
That's true. So when you're saying that the lack of expertise of specific doctors, would you say that the pediatricians, etc., who are already within the market, is there an awareness amongst the medical healthcare sector? Or are you more as a platform recognizing that there aren't enough experts to go around?
Yeah, pediatricians, most of them, they could actually give like very simple diagnosis. However, in order to get an in-depth diagnosis, you would normally need to consult a specialist. And there's a lack of specialists in the market at the moment. So Motherhood, we're actually collaborating with a few specialists to digitize the entire assessment and to make it available free of charge to mothers today, so that you know, they could do an early analysis. As we know, early intervention actually helps, you know, and also once a diagnosis is given, they could actually do a simple intervention at home. You know, there's actually a few steps, you know, to support your toddler or your kid during the early stages, and if no improvements, then only the parents can actually consult physically a specialist, and that will probably sometimes take around 3 to 6 months of waiting list.
Very true, exactly.
Because of the shortage of specialists in the market.
Exactly. So I think it would also help parents, mothers in particular, as primary caregivers, to feel like they had more control over not just acknowledging what difficulties the child is having, but trying to get them help. Now, an interesting concept that I came across was rather than milestones, these days what is becoming common as the language on parenting platforms is inch stones. So looking at very much smaller ones, so that also helps with the tracking. Now, going to that, it clearly is that parents are going much more in depth. Petrina, how do you assess the market size for parenting and maternity wellness technology in Southeast Asia? And what about the growth potential across this region? Let's just look at perhaps the 10 countries that we have in ASEAN.
I mean, there's a huge woman population in just Asia alone. We are looking at about 28 million female population. You know, and Southeast Asia is always the culture of having family, big families, giving birth, you know. Although we do see like certain countries, the birth rate is actually on the declining mode, but thankfully Malaysia is actually quite stable at around 450,000 babies born every
live
year.
births a year. Yeah,
that's right.
Exactly. So that is actually a huge market when it comes to generating revenues. In fact, in 2024, the baby and child market in Southeast Asia generated an overall revenue of 0.39 billion USD. So these numbers aside, let's look at bigger markets, slightly bigger markets, and also given the fact that Nuren has some experience operating there, Thailand, which is a market triple the size of Malaysia, for example. What are some specific needs over there which you find to be potential growth sectors?
I would say that in the past it's always about baby products, and you know, it's always about the baby products, solutions for the baby. But today we do see that parents or mothers are having a bit more self-improvement. You know, they are taking care of themselves better and more. And we do see that there's a trend of growth in the maternity and female wellness.
Right.
Yeah, providing them with solutions, you know, and services to help mothers recover better and faster. That helps them to actually have the strength and, you know, the recovery to take care of their family.
Right, exactly. So I think the more that women are made aware of the fact that postpartum is just as important as care during pregnancy, the more they are able to integrate themselves.
That's right.
May I ask if you have any kind of a breakdown or demographic idea, Petrina, of from your percentage of basically 75% women who are users, active users across your platforms, how many of them might also be women who are in the workforce as professionals?
Yeah, we do have a survey recently about that. On the Nuren Group platform, approximately 70% of our mothers are in the workforce.
Wow, so that's a very high proportion. That's almost all of them.
That's
All
right.
right, fantastic.
And the other 30%, they are not only just homemakers, they are also doing freelancing,
Or small business
small
owners.
businesses, that's right. And a portion of them are actually contributors of motherhood as well.
Understood.
We do work with like the freelance or the home mothers, to create content, as well as, to take up like some jobs that they can work remotely, such as customer service, and managing our e-commerce platform.
Fantastic. So it's not just a place for community, but also a place to perhaps grow the potential of your home business.
That's
right. Petrina, thanks so much for the insights and so far. I'd love to spend a little bit of time before we close talking to us about Nuren Group's IPO on the NSX, which was a significant milestone on the National Stock Exchange of Australia. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, we just had the IPO sometime last month. Sorry, that's in August. And the whole purpose or the objective of the IPO, it allows us to have the funds not only just for the expansion, but also to help us to grow, not only organically at the moment, but also through investment and merger and acquisitions.
Fantastic.
So with the IPO, we're actually looking at a few investments opportunity in Australia. Into the wellness, maternity wellness and female wellness industry. We are also looking at a few M&As back here in Malaysia, as well as providing our customers a more personalized as well as AI-driven platform.
Fantastic. So congratulations, of course, on raising a total of 700,000 Australian dollars and also being oversubscribed by close to 100,000 Aussie. It bores well for the future of not just the bilateral working business relationship, but also the fact that Malaysian enterprises really can take it to that next level. So what's next for Nuren Group, Petrina, for the next 3 to 5 years, moving towards, 2030?
Yeah, we are still very focused to, as a tech company, to continue to develop our tech solution and to continue to improve our user experience and to identify and to continue to learn with our parents, to help them solve their pregnancy and family needs through the entire motherhood journey.
Absolutely. And what would be your message out there for women founders and especially those who want to be a part of the tech industry or are already in the tech industry with a specific focus on parenting technology?
Yeah, I would say that with the community groups today, it's very important for founders to be part of a technology company groups. Don't be too worried to seek for help from one another, and be passionate with what you do.
Fantastic. Petrina, thank you so much for this insightful conversation. We wish you all the best with Nuren Group going forward.
Thank you.
Thanks very much for joining us. That's all we have time for on NIAGA Spotlight for today. Please join us next week for more business analysis and insights. Here's to a productive week ahead. I'm Tamina Kausji, signing off for now.